beats fast, colors and promises. How to be brave, how can I love when I'm afraid?
Welcome to Tuesday Tea with Truth. Today's journal is based on the scriptures from the book of James, chapter 4, verses 1 through 3, the NIV version. What causes fights and quarrels among you? Don't they come from your desires that battle within you? You desire but do not have, so you kill. You covet, but you cannot get what you want, so you quarrel and fight. You do not have because you do not ask God. When you ask, you do not receive, because you ask wrong motives, that you may spend what you get on your pleasures. So today we are going to dive into the topic, are you praying to increase the quantity of treasure or the quality of life? Are you praying to be the King of Kings or how to be a good servant to thy King? What do you value more, quality or quantity? Years ago, I asked myself, why am I always struggling? Why is the rich getting richer? Why are those that are out in the world prospering? Why am I in the same spot year after year, working paycheck to paycheck? Why is the dark cloud of my past trauma continues to follow me around? Why? Then I heard a still voice that asked, what have you done to get out of your situation? Are you asking to rise in order to serve yourself and man? Or are you ready to be my servant that will give the quality of life I intended my children to have? Have you been praying for quality of life or quantity of treasure? Are you praying to have what others have been blessed with, or praying gratitude for the blessings you have already received? Have you humbled yourself before Christ, or praying with a heart of entitlement? Are you praying for God to use you to change the hearts of others? Or are you using people in order to fulfill your heart desire? What are you praying for? Quality of life or quantity of treasure? As I began my healing journey, I realized I allowed my pain to harden my heart and become selfish instead of selfless. I was fearful of being used and abused and determined I would never allow myself to be vulnerable. You have to be vulnerable in order for God to use you. God is the only one you can be vulnerable with, and in turn will give you that spirit of discernment and the ability to purify your heart. In order to be able to have that quality of life, we have to learn to have the quality time for prayer. Prayer is not about what you can get, but what you can give. God will provide all we have to be willing to serve. So, when you begin to have your pity party and question why me, why they have and I have not, stop. Start reflecting on the gifts you do have. Start reflecting on the blessings that has been bestowed upon you. When you start focusing on the promises that have been fulfilled by God in your life, you will see the kingdom of God's doors were never closed. And you begin to your ascent to the next level. Every level requires a sacrifice, and you must be willing to make a change. And you start with your prayer life. So how much time do you take with God every day? When was the last time you showed God appreciation for just being alive? Have you glorified God for getting you out of one situation to the next, or complaining about every situation you are in? Are you changing the way you speak because you are talking more with Christ? Or are you just talking? When our time is over, we are going to leave the way we were born, with nothing. Each day we strive to have riches on earth, but it's going to be worthless when we are gone. We strive to give our children the world, but it means nothing if they don't even know who we are. We strive for fame and fortune, but God will only see our souls when our end comes. So what are you praying for? A quality of life that will leave a legacy that will touch the hearts and souls of others, or quantity of treasure that will be sold to the higher bidder? So let me take a moment and just go over or give you some examples of a quality prayer life. Things that you can pray for. God, teach me your way. Help me to think your thoughts and speak your words. Quality. God, help me to show compassion to those who show me hate. God, help me to be on fire for you when people attempt to extinguish mine. Give me the means that will allow me to be a blessing to others. Quality. God, give me the desire to follow you with blind faith. God, use me as you see fit. Help me turn a blind eye to those that are trying to keep me hostage to my past. Help me to break out the prison I have put myself in because of my past. You have forgiven me. God, help me forgive me. That's quality. Break my chains, loose my shackles, remove the veil, connect me to the vine. Go before me and block my enemies from plotting against me. What are you praying for? Quality of life or quantity of treasure? You have not because you ask not. When I changed the way I prayed and put more quality time and began to pray for a qualified spiritual walk and a quality way of living, I am no longer in the spot I was in. If you take a moment and reflect over your life, many of us are no longer where we used to be. But do not get comfortable of where you are. We must continue to pray for quality, and God in turn will bless us with both. Thank you for joining me on Tuesday Tea with Truth. Today's assignment is for you to take 5 minutes a day to take a moment to journal about how God has blessed you on that day. And each day going forward, add an additional 5 minutes. And before you know it, you have gone from 15 minutes to an hour or more with Christ. We must practice feeding the soul and not the beast. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I hope to see you next time on Tuesday Tea with Truth. Until then, may your tea stay hot on your journey to healing.